Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ian Scott and I'm the Managing Partner at Scott Legal. Today we're going to continue our video series on common E2 questions. And our question for today is, does an E2 spouse require work authorization to work in the United States? So before we get into the answer, I want to go over a case that a court recently decided. Now what happened in this case is that there was an E2 applicant, and the E2 applicant spouse also obtained an E2 visa. And she went to work and she didn't obtain an employment authorization card. So that went on for years and it went on without incident. But then the E2 applicant was offered the ability to get a green card. So his spouse joined in that process, and when she applied for the green card, USCIS denied the application, and they denied the application because the wife hadn't obtained work authorization. Now that case went up through the courts, and it was actually decided, one court actually decided that the spouse actually did not require work authorization to work in the United States, so she actually was granted her green card. But here's where the law gets a little tricky, because USCIS has still, even after that case, has taken the position that the E2 spouse does require work authorization. So if the E2 spouse doesn't get work authorization, they can still run into problems down the process. And the reason that that court decision may not impact USCIS is because the decision was rendered by what was called it's called a non-precedent decision. And as such, USCIS really doesn't have to follow it. So when our clients come in and they ask us whether or not the E2 spouse should get work authorization, our answer to them is yes. So to clearly answer the question, does an E2 spouse require work authorization before he or she works in the United States? The answer is yes.